Hey Max. Oh wow. It's an interesting screensaver in the back.
Hey,
Wallpaper.
yeah, it is. How are you, Felix?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm trying to actually get on my computer, so that's why I'm logging in on my phone first.
Sure, sure.
Yes, yes. I have a question. What's the intended timeline of this conversation? Because I'm wondering I have to be in downtown Brooklyn at 12, so I'm wondering will I be able to take this Zoom mobily while I'm in the cab?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, all right.
You fill up.
Hey, Philip.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, meeting at 12 was a lot better than meeting at 11.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yes.
Uh, because I'm on a little break.
Hmm.
Nice, nice.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. All right. Let me or am I needed to be on the computer to do anything? Max.
Phil, why don't you answer that question? Take it from here.
Actually, no. We're gonna set up some time to actually do computer stuff, so
Hmm.
that won't be necessary for today.
Okay. Awesome, awesome.
Um, so, uh, Max, did Felix get a copy of
Not yet.
the
No,
the agreement?
not yet. No.
Mhm.
Okay.
You could.
Uh,
Yeah,
well, I didn't. You wrote it.
I know. But you could present it. I mean, this is yours.
All
So,
right. So, okay, let me pull it up.
while
Mhm.
you pull it up, I'll say, hey, welcome, Felix, to this conversation about the next
Mhm.
steps or the steps ahead.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we've been meaning to connect on this level for a while, and
Yes.
very excited that you're willing to listen to us and hear what we're presenting to you.
Okay.
And it feels good. I hope it does.
Hmm.
I did everything in my like
Hmm.
perception of how to make it a good fit for you,
Hmm.
and something that we have available that works on both ends.
Okay.
So I'm going to let um, Philip present to you sort of our idea, and he doesn't have to like go through the individual lines of this document, but the document that he's talking about is just an agreement that basically says you understand what we're saying, we understand what you're saying, and we're on the same page. But what he's going to
Okay.
talk to you about today is just what we have for you.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, so basically, we want you, the proposal we have, we want you to be an administrative assistant. Uh,
Okay.
so, so basically, you will help, manage the electronic health record system that we use, which is called Therapy Notes.
Hmm.
Um, so what we do with Therapy Notes is, uh, we store a lot of documents on there,
Hmm.
contracts that we get from, health insurance companies. You know, we store a lot of information on
Okay.
there that is only like accessible to, to staff, meaning us.
Okay.
It's so the therapy notes library is a great way to store all that stuff. But in
Okay.
addition to that, when we get new clients, there's a list of forms that they have to fill out. It's
Hmm.
once we do, I have to show you this by computer. We're not going to do that today, but we need to schedule a
Okay.
time where we can, so I can share my screen,
Okay.
Great.
so you can actually see how therapy notes works and what is stored there. Uh, and then other administrative tasks could include, scheduling appointments. I would show you how to do this. So that's part one of the employee agreement. The second part is hours and compensation. So the rate that was chosen is I think it says 5 hours. So that's every 2 weeks.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Every 2 weeks,
Yeah.
spread out across 2 weeks.
So
Okay.
across 2 weeks will be 5 hours.
Okay.
Uh, so the rate would so right now you will start at a like a training rate, like I did when I started. So
Hmm.
for 4 pay periods, that amount would be uh is $15 US for uh every 5 hours. So five times two, so that'd be 75 or no,
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's what it would be.
5 times 15 for
oh,
uh
70, yeah, it is 75. So for
75.
that's for the first 2 months
Hmm.
while you're in training. And then after that, the rate would be $20 per hour. Does that make sense? I got that right. 'Cause
Yes, yes, yes.
uh,
I have a question. I have a question.
Sure.
Is this in addition to the previous position that was offered, or is this the only position that's being offered at this point?
This is what we this is what we have. So
Okay.
we're a business, and over the while we had previous conversations, lots of them. And every
Hmm.
time I created a position that's what we needed at the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Whether it's called this or that, we just have identified needs, and this is
Okay.
the perfect sort of fit.
is yeah.
Okay.
So this is the best scenario that we came up with.
Yeah, yeah. And it's 5 hours, but it's 5 hours. So like that's every 2 weeks.
No, that's not the issue. Is that my skill set is so deep, and also like
Okay.
just I put in way more work than a lot of other peers in the field, and
But there isn't a lot of
uh,
work.
minimum wage is
There isn't a
not
lot of work.
where. I said again.
This isn't a lot of work though. We
I
say five
understand.
hours. We're
I
talking
understand.
about a amount of time, and feel like Philip can explain, like in terms of what you would be doing, it wouldn't amount to 5 hours.
Hmm.
But probably amount to about how long would you say, Reverend?
Uh, I was saying like for me it's been no more than like 2 hours of actual like
Of actual
you know
work?
of
Hmm.
actual
Two
work.
hours, and we
Uh,
pay for five.
yeah, I mean sometimes it may call for up to five, but
Sometimes
you know,
nothing.
but
Sometimes
yeah, but depending upon what has to be done, like in a given week, it could, it varies. But this agreement just saying, you know, this is a fixed rate for now, because
fixed.
because we're still growing.
Fixed.
This is
Okay, I'll let you talk. Sorry.
Hmm.
so we're still growing. So as the clientele increase, as we get, more funding, more revenue, obviously the workload would increase. So,
Go with your
but
salary.
yeah,
Hmm.
so the salary will increase, and that's across the board. That's with all of us.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. When it's broken down at 2 for 5, that sounds great. Uh, However, I just wanted to put it out there that what if any would there be a discussion, if any time in the future, about a cooperative actually. The reason why I say is because again, like I'm moving into more leadership capacity, and I would prefer to actually be uh more than just uh a waged worker.
This,
Again, because of my skill set, and
Yeah.
therefore, like compensation would therefore be contingent upon like what I put in, which would be a lot more than going forward as well. I mean, like I go hard for anything, right? Like
this is
regardless of volunteer capacity or wage or whatever. But in terms of like I wouldn't be able to sustain continuous employment at that rate without having be elevated in some manner of leadership capacity and or to be a medically billable peer in the organization.
Everyone is a leader here, and everyone is billable if they have the ability to bill.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So that's
with that being said, is there a pathway in the immediate future to usher me into that so that I could make further more than just 15? Whether that means I act upon like bringing people in and then getting commission PC percentage of
Yeah.
whoever I bring in.
So if you
yeah.
But I
revenue,
don't I don't want to just like limit myself to like 15 or 20 like in that regard because I really believe in the mission statement of the organization as a whole. But again, like
Maybe
uh, mhm,
maybe we should let me describe um like average what this actually like in terms of what your position like looks like, and then we can
mhm.
talk about compensation again. So we sort of rushed to compensation without talking about, what this actually looks like in real life.
I
Um
mean, 15 is less than minimum wage because minimum wage is now 16, and that's less. That's like Baltic Street wages.
okay.
Yeah, that's well. Actually, they increased it to. Oh yeah, New York City is 16. That's right.
Hmm.
So in
Yeah,
Baltic Street, you get paid for
Oh
not
yeah.
working.
yeah. Baltic Street, some of the situations you get paid minimum wage, and you're dealing with a whole subset of like new issues as newly hired peer in some positions at Baltic Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get paid for not working though?
At Baltic
Oh no.
Street,
Oh no, you
it's
work.
you work all
Yeah.
the time. That's why I say
You're
like
not working all the time with us, though, Felix. That's what
I
to explain to you that this is
I understand.
you're not in an office and you're not at your computer all day.
No. I get it, Max. I get it. Like I moved past that point of the conversation.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just like kind of like to be offered 15, like 15 at my at where I am in life. I just kind of taken aback from
I would
that. So
like
I'm
to
trying to
be making
reframe it.
$1 million, Felix. I think I'm worth $1 million.
It's no,
I
no.
mean,
Wait, let
in
me speak,
terms of
Max.
like my
Let me speak,
compensation.
Max. Let me speak,
Okay.
please.
Oh, sure. I'm not trying to talk over you. This is why.
Again, there's a different capacity that I'm at right now in life, and if I were to act as outreach and actually bringing people in, then that's something that would make the arrangement feasible, where I could actually be medically billable thereafter and working with that person therefore, or whatnot. But the 15 to 20 makes it very hard to commit because of the nature of like things going forward.
All
And
right.
I'm not sure where in the day those
Yeah.
hours would be or at leisure. So that's something to kind of
Okay.
also express as well.
Okay. All right. I tried to honestly, given our budget, we are still operating in the red
Okay.
in terms of that. So I thought honestly, I thought that if I could go a little bit more in red because you're a friend of mine, I would want to give you any money that I have. But
Hmm.
I'm not making money. We are not making money now.
Again, listen to what I just said, the last comment. If I'm
Okay.
acting as outreach and bringing people in, that's a different story. I'm not sure if
And
you
I said to you, if you're making money for the business and you're bringing money in, your salary goes up. We said that from the very beginning.
yes. So can we talk about a pathway to become medically billable? So that's where I would like the
Yes.
conversation to go
Uh,
now.
uh,
Absolutely.
okay, so
That's what
you
we,
probably
yeah.
you probably recall that we tried to go through um, OMH. We actually sat down and met with folks from the Westchester County Department of Community Mental Health, which, according to that's the first process in getting an application for OMH to apply to be uh, a, a peer designated provider, building Medicaid for peer support services. We ran into some roadblocks with that. They're saying no, they're not going to give us a letter of support because we only do telehealth. But
Hmm.
according to the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, it is highly acceptable for a business or an organization who does strictly telehealth,
Hmm.
as we are here to build Medicaid. So, you know, and OMH kind of sold us a bill of goods.
And
So,
OMH,
which,
same thing. It's on their site too. We're able to do it this way too on the OMH site.
yes. Mm,
It's right
so,
there in black and white. The
Hmm.
reason why you're being offered this is because you're not working, basically. You're on our payroll and you're really not doing anything, Felix.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to tell you. And I
oh,
think the reason why Philip is saying what he's saying is because we want to get you in the door.
Hmm.
and we definitely want this business to build Medicaid. So we're still figuring it out. Just because
Not there yet.
OMA said what they said, that's not the end of the road
It's not
Okay,
for us.
it was my understanding that it was already passed, like it was already in place. So I thought
at
that Philip
all.
was billing already.
No,
That's
not at
where.
Well,
all.
no, we're not yet. No, we're
Hmm.
not. Yes, we launch it. I'm seeing one client,
Yeah,
but
but
this
this is
is not
our
the end. But
program.
yeah, but this is our program. This is not the end of the road.
We're paying
You
for it.
know,
We're paying for it. We're not getting literally every time Philip sees someone that's out of our pocket, not anyone else's.
as uh,
Hmm.
but we're not going to stay there. That's not our end game.
It's not the end
Obviously,
game.
it's
No,
not the
not
end
at
game.
all.
You know, we just want to we launch it off the ground just to say, look, Owen mate,
Doing it.
we're doing this. But so, I mean, if you have any ideas on how we can, advance this work, because we want every peer specialist that comes through here work, to be able to build Medicaid. That is our goal.
You could be that peer supervisor and make that peer supervisor money. You know what I mean?
Right. You know what I mean?
It's not so much
Does
about
that
money.
make
Like
sense?
it's not about money. Again, like I'm launching some things in the next few weeks. That'll take care of the money aspect of stuff. It's
Okay.
more of in line with my effort and also like what I bring to the table outside of just the general job description. Like, I could work easily making 45, 50, up to 65, 70, like if I wanted to, like immediately. I
Okay.
just choose not to. So it's not about the money aspect. It's more about the actual, you know, is there alignment with like where I want to go in the future.
Okay.
So that's like it's not about money, but it is because again, it's not a wage that we kind of a wage number that we talked about prior. But I get it, right? I get it. Like again, like in the span of a week, I'm gonna be okay financially, like for a while, right? I got some things I'm working on. But I say that to say that I would like to join the team, but again, like it also like the capacity in which I contribute, I kind of like I need to be able to structure like my hours around stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure where this 5 hours would be. Would it be at leisure? Would it be a set time during the week,
Whatever.
like a
No,
two and a
no,
half or such?
actually there
Hmm.
is no set time. I mean, I fill my hours when I
Hmm.
can, and that could
Okay.
be so. Yeah. So there is no like, there is no like set time you have to clock in and clock
Hmm.
out. If that's what you're asking. Because we know, that's not possible.
Hmm.
A lot of things come up all the time.
Life.
Hmm. Okay. Cause all right. Yeah.
So I'm sorry we didn't make that clear uh,
Yeah,
earlier.
that was the main thing of like having to adjust my schedule to accommodate the same hours at a set period of time, either weekly or so forth. I'm
No, you
really
don't have.
kind of
No, you don't have to do that.
I'm really kind of moving in a lot more regimented way as far as in society, and in the process of doing so, I'm launching some projects that are going to be very time heavy. So that's why I was saying that, like, trying to figure out where that time would be
Anything
happening.
like.
So that's something that you and I can coordinate.
Hmm.
So, let's say a task is given to you, then you would say, okay, well, I may be able to do it, you know, this date or this time, just as long as that's being communicated. Doesn't matter,
That
you
would be
Hmm.
know.
you and Reverend Dr. Philip. He would be your supervisor.
Ooh, ouch.
You have to have this.
I just dial that back. Like I'm not working for anyone. Collaborating, yes, and partnership, yes, but
You could call it
again,
a
like
collaboration. You could call
uh,
it a collaboration.
yeah, yeah. Just please change that title. Like I refuse to have a supervisor, so just change that title internally, and never address it as
Okay,
such.
uh,
That's
Felix,
just me.
Julie,
I just work with me. Just understand where I'm going,
sure, sure.
because I'll have my own LLCs and my
I
nonprofits for the
understand.
next 2 months, and
I
I
have a
just need.
boss, Felix. I have a boss.
Uh, I don't have a boss. I have
I,
collaborative partners or
I do
such.
though have a boss, though. Not if you don't want to think of Reverend Dr. Philip as one, you can think of Medicaid as one, or any of these companies, entities.
Yeah, yeah, I
With.
understand. But for $15 or $20 an hour, like I refuse to see someone as a supervisor. It's a collaborative
That
partnership
would be
or
between
so forth.
you and Reverend Dr. Philip Loving. I mean, I'm not asking
Um,
you to meet with me. I'm not your supervisor. But you need to have someone down on paper, or else we can't have a company. That's how it works,
Okay.
right?
All right.
It works for everyone.
Please replay this video later on and listen to
Okay.
it. As
Okay.
you'll see that I'm being very diplomatic and
No, I know. I'm saying no.
I'm dealing with two voices of a corporation while I'm trying to also negotiate.
Oh
So
man.
please listen to this
Okay.
video later on.
Okay.
Because I really think that I'm not being heard effectively,
No,
and
no,
I'm
what you're saying, but I'm just saying in terms of having a business operating in New York State, I don't think we're allowed to not do that. I think we would get
um
for it, wouldn't we?
I think that I might actually rather come in as a independent contractor than an employee,
Would
as
that make a
such.
difference in terms of like the Department of Labor? You know?
I'm not sure, but again, I just for myself personally, where I'm going in my life,
Yeah.
I need to be seen as a collaborative partner and such, and not as
I see you as an
an
equal. I've
employee.
always seen you as an equal. I continue to see you as an equal. I don't know if we're like we see it differently. I think everyone here sees each other as equals. And that's just how I operate in my life.
Uh,
And in
but
my
I think, uh, but I think, looking at the agreement that you drafted, Max. I mean, I got to be honest with you. It doesn't really. It seems that that he would have a direct supervisor.
but he would. I mean, he would. He would on paper. Yeah, that's why I'm asking you both. Tell me, educate me. I'm asking the
I brought up the concept of cooperative
I know.
because
I'm asking
I
though
wait
if
wait wait okay
yeah.
okay let me I don't ever want to work for anyone ever again, right? So like literally like this is my last foray in actually being an employee to someone. That's why I'm trying to like actually establish that boundary,
I don't think we're
because
able to do that then. Um,
um
I don't think we can. I don't
okay.
think and with the Department of Labor and the people that regulate us, they'd shut us down.
Independent contractor again, and also
But
look
then
into
it's okay.
cooperative collective
Okay.
care.
Replacing the language in the agreement, just writing independent contractor. Is that fine? Is that okay then? Does that work? I'm asking you. I don't know. I don't
But
know.
Um,
but the question would be,
I think
if it's not if it's. Oh, go ahead, Felix.
I think that if anything, I would come in as an independent contractor
Yeah.
or into a cooperative a cooperative collective organization or business as such. There are cooperative organizations out there with
Okay.
therapists and such,
Yeah.
where there's a profit share and so forth. And that's why I say that like my skill set is you know it's just a bit more
Do you want to buy into the business then? Is that what you're saying?
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Therefore, like that's why I say that I'm never going to work for anyone ever again, and I'm looking at collaborative partnership.
So,
Because if I'm only seen as an employee, if I'm seen as an employee on paper,
yeah.
then I refuse to go beyond my job description. Uh, Internally, that's how I see it because of all the exploitation I've gone through in the past.
Okay.
So that's why the language, I just don't see myself ever working for anyone ever again.
Okay.
In that regard, it's not an assault on you. It's
Yeah.
not anything against you or Philip. It's about the nature of like I don't see myself buying into capitalism in that manner ever again. And that's why I'm talking about cooperatives and collectives because if there's a profit share situation, then I'll be able to go hard, right? But if it's just 5 hours, um, where I'm going in life, like I'm going into a more like consulting role,
Right.
so it's making me see like if I give a 5 hour commitment and
Yeah.
then I'm expected 5 hours, then like
Yeah.
what I would give for free after that
You wouldn't give
would
anything for
be
it.
a consultant getting paid thousands for, right?
Sure. Sure. I
So
get that.
in that regard, I'll be looking at independent contracting
I see. I
or
understand.
establishing cooperative. It's
Okay. Now I
again,
see what you're saying.
it's not it's not an affront to you, right? Or
Yeah.
you or Philip. It's not an affront to you. It's just more like I don't want to be anyone's employee ever again.
Okay. That's fine. So you could be an independent contractor and I think we could find ways of doing a cooperative down the road, sure. But we only need 5 hours. We're not asking you to go above and beyond. We really just want even less than that.
Hmm.
And that's what we're saying. Like we don't want you to do there's no above and beyond to be done. You know what I mean? Just do the required five or less. And Phil can tell you on vacations and when you're not feeling well, you're not working, you get paid every 2 weeks, no matter what. You know what I
I
mean? And
I
it's
I I
five
under
less
I
than
under
5 hours.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. However, the dynamics of the conversations going forward will change as they have in a little bit of conversations with Philip and such. And again, like uh, I just need to be trained and things to be reviewed, but like going above and beyond and doing like like setting aside time to do a formal supervision and so forth. Like just send me like paper reports and just all that stuff. Like I really don't want to see Philip as in hierarchy, and I don't want to be seen as an underling either.
We know
Because
it's
in conversations with Philip, I feel that there is a because he's representing your company, therefore I don't see him as seeing me as an equal. So again, like that's why, like for the language,
okay.
I'm not sure if you picked up on that, Philip, but like the way
No,
that you talk to
I
me,
actually,
the way that you talk
yeah,
to me is a lot different as far as like you're an ambassador for Max as opposed to like and what the organization is going forward in as opposed to kind of talking to me like, kind of conversationally and so
uh,
forth. Like,
uh, so yeah, you're absolutely right. So I started out by reading this employee agreement and what it says. And upon looking at it, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, my tone and demeanor changed to the point at which it's not like the conversations that we had before. I mean, I don't
like
think that
I
should
like
be.
I walked into a Zoom being recorded. Like that wasn't advised beforehand. So again, like that's why I'm saying like
Actually, I didn't
listen.
know that it was being recorded either.
All meetings are recorded. It's just the
Oh,
way it's done automatically to Zoom. I have that setting because that's just what we do here. Just in case someone makes an allegation or something. It,
yes, but you see how I haven't been brought onto the company, and then I'm being told that the policy is like everything's recorded. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, I'm not even an employee or a client, so this is supposed to be like a regular kind of conversation to talk about stuff. So it's
it,
kind of blindsiding me as opposed to like being a friendly conversation. It almost feels like I'm negotiating my place in your lives outside of the company. See what I'm saying? It doesn't make me feel it's not a good look, right? It's not a good look on my end.
Mhm.
Because to be honest, like uh I'm giving this to be my last opportunity to be in collaboration or see myself as an employee with anyone because honestly I can make more money not working and working on my own stuff. So in that regard, I want you to actually like listen to the audio and actually see that like I'm not coming at either of you. I'm just establishing my firm boundary around like I command and demand that I be treated as an equal, which would mean that I should have been advised that the audio was going to be recorded, and the language and so forth. And also that I don't be nickel and dime with information around certain things because I was under the impression that Philip was already billing. And see, the conversations aren't the same anymore, like from before when we talked about stuff. And therefore, I have to like, what Max tells me isn't the same thing that Philip tells me as far as like what's happening.
This,
And then it's no longer collaboration. It's more like
this is
piecemeal corporate, right?
uh, so. Wait a minute. Wait, did I actually tell you that I was billing?
You had mentioned that that you were going through the process of doing so, and I think the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
thing you said that was that you were providing supervision, not super, you were working in direct service with peers already.
uh,
I
but
took that.
but I think I also said that because we did not get that level of support from OMH to apply.
Hmm.
That means that we're not doing. We
Okay.
can't bill
Yeah,
Medicaid
that was established already during the conversation.
yet.
Yes,
Yeah, so
during this conversation.
if I I'm sorry if I didn't make that clear when I brought it up to you before then. I thought
Hmm.
I did. I thought I did because it was really upsetting what we went through when we
Hmm.
saw those folks in Westchester County. I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure I mentioned what happened through all of that, and
We,
we're
we
kind
do
of
our
at a
best.
place where we're not billing Medicaid yet, but it's not the end of the road. That's still something that we're working on. But um, I do want to acknowledge what you're saying, Felix, and I apologize for any misstep that I have taken. Um, this just shows you that I can't read from like prepared statements. It makes me go crazy because I'm usually more fluid than this, and I sound like a robot. That-
I don't,
That's
I,
that's not me.
I think you just were you weren't sure how to present this, and I was thinking from the beginning that you would just talk about your experience with mindful living and how it was a positive one for you, and that that I would like the same for Felix, and that I'm doing everything I can. Well, I know this is not the best offer by any means. I'm not an idiot, but I do know that your compensation radically increased, and I would do the same for Felix because I want the best for him. And I know that everyone has an idea of what the best for themselves. And I want to listen to you too. But I just also know that there might be certain regulatory things out there that may make it difficult to do right away. And that down the line, we want the best for everybody. But that's sort of what I thought was going to happen here.
See, if you would have messaged me and talked about if you would have messaged or gave me some advance notice that we're going to talk about a different compensation scale, I could have worked with that and kind of prepared myself. But basically, it was presented like it's this or nothing, and that's how I take it. That's how I took it because
It's
again,
never
like
that way, though. It's never
yes, yes, but understand. Please listen to this audio in the
sure.
later on.
Sure.
But again, like that should have been. I should have had advance notice on this because I talked to you earlier this week,
Yeah.
and that should have actually been that should have
I
preempted this
told you
conversation.
it did, and it did. I told you that
Um,
I was ready when we first spoke because I had it planned everything out
but
in terms of
but there's a
this
big
thing.
difference between the role that was offered before and then what you're offering now at the
That was
rate that
months
you're
ago.
offering.
That was
What
Um,
months.
was
um,
what was the role that was offered months ago? I wasn't
There was
pertinent
two
to that.
roles. There was two roles, and
Yeah,
again, like I didn't. I was going through depression and life, and trying to save my life, right? Like,
right.
in that capacity, like,
Sure.
outside of a professional capacity, like, um, did I not exist as a friend outside of that? So if to be for that to be brought up in this conversation makes it feel like, uh, there's a resentment there that I didn't join and such prior.
Oh, our needs changed radically, which is what I tried to say throughout this conversation. This is all about what we
But
need.
that was not that was not explained to me before I jumped on this call. I
I
was assuming that it
apologize.
was the same role at the
I'm
same
sorry.
compensation.
I'm sorry.
So
I didn't
there's
know
a
because
drastic reduction in compensation, a drastic from 35 to 15. That is drastic. And then to kind of package with a bow, not in advance, made me feel like I'm being high pressured into like accepting it
I don't
and
know.
such without any kind of pushback.
Not at all.
So in that regard, like, the tone that was provided to me like throughout was more like negotiating in a corporate environment where we don't know each other and anything, and I'm basically asking to be recognized as a human being as opposed to me having understanding of who we are in community and so forth, and having been around each other and then kind of being blindsided. And it was very impersonal, this approach. I wish that it could have been packaged a little bit better. Because again, like,
Felix, I respect everything you're saying. I think a lot of it has a lot of merit and value and truth, but it sounds really critical right now. And I really feel like shit. I want you to know that. Why? Like,
That
okay.
wasn't my intention. Wait, that wasn't my
Because,
intention.
because everything you're saying is very negative about this experience, and I wanted it to be a positive one for you. And I feel
Okay.
like crap right now. It's just
As the head of the company, I understand what you're saying, but please allow Philip to actually chime in as the impartial person, as
yeah.
far as impartial in the sense that he's also
This
on
is
looking.
sides here. This is what sides here.
I'm not saying that there's sides, but what I'm trying to say is like at no point that's why I kept reiterating that this is not an attack on anyone.
I don't
This is
think it's
not an
an
attack on
attack.
anyone.
I don't think it's an attack.
But you're saying that I'm making you feel like shit about being
No, I didn't
credible.
say you're
Like
making
that's
me make you're
uh,
I didn't say you were making me. I'm saying I feel like shit right now after this conversation.
but it's that wasn't my intention. It was
I
just to
know it's
kind of
not.
I
But
appreciate
no,
I appreciate the offer being extended, Max. It's how it was packaged. If you would have told me ahead of time that we could have worked through, there's a different compensation scale or such, I would have jumped aboard even in a volunteer capacity and been like, okay, whatever, when things get worked out. But the way that it was presented, as soon as I came in the room, meetings being recorded, like like it made me feel like I'm being like everything I say is going to be like used against me should there ever be an HR issue or a Department of Labor issue or anything like that. It didn't make me feel like I was walking into a room where people actually knew who I was.
okay.
It made me feel like I was walking right into Baltic Street again.
And I also have to say I didn't know this meeting was going to be recorded either, and I got extremely nervous, um, very nervous. Um, so
Dude, it just I want you to see me as like as someone that wouldn't backstab or put things into a negative position or nothing like that. And how I felt coming into it was like everything going forward is corporate conversations, and that's not how I wanted to be brought in. I appreciate that you're always thinking of me, Max, to bring me into stuff, but like I know that you're just coming off a 2 week thing and 2 week getting everything in order, and I love you, Max. I love you as a person and such. So I don't, please don't take any fault or any like, there's no misgivings or anything or negative view on you or Philip or nothing. I just ask that like, you know, just kind of like um, tone down the corporate presence around conversations, around me being a part of anything that you're doing, and like just kind of like see me as like someone that wouldn't backstab you or anything, or just wants to be a part of what you're building. And that's what I want you to see me as, a collaborative partner. I just um, I understand that you have a business, yes, and there's regulations, but please understand that like I don't see you as my boss. I don't see you as any of that. I don't see Philip as a supervisor or as a boss or anything. I see y'all as us working collectively to create something beautiful and that will rival anything that's out there. So in that regard, I keep referring back to listening to the audio and stuff because you'll see that like even though I was upset and stuff, I kind of brought it back to like mediation and kind of bringing in different perspectives and such, so that you'll see it wasn't me attacking or wasn't me downplaying the opportunity. It was just I was blindsided by stuff, and it made me it created an energy of no longer being impartial. It made me feel like an employee
Right.
already beforehand, and all the friendship and everything went out the window, and it was no longer about like best case scenario for a collective of people who are friends. It was more like what does Felix have to benefit? Like what can the organization have Felix do for a wage? And that's why I kept saying like it's not about money because I'll be okay, and so forth. It's just about the way it was packaged. The way it was packaged was a little rough, right? And it was just rough packaging, Max.
Okay.
And that's kind of where I stand. Like it was just a rough packaging.
Okay.
Um,
I have
I
to
I I
find
agree.
better ways to self.
I I agree to the wage. However, please just see what I'm saying
Yeah.
and understand that I'm doing it as a part of being a part of something beautiful, not so much so that like I get seen as like in your eyes in Philip's eyes as an underling,
Yeah.
regardless of like outside of
Sorry, I'm sorry
titles
you
and
felt that
such.
way. I'm really sorry you felt that way. It's definitely not how I see you or ever thought of you or ever will think of you. Um, it's just not, it just sorry it was communicated that way. I really didn't,
Hmm.
it's not the vibe I wanted you to get. Here's the introductions or introductions, I guess, the company culture. But like it is a company. And I don't see anyone that way. And you've all known me. I didn't radically change overnight or at 11 or 12 p.m. or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I'm
Hmm.
still the same person I was a half hour ago. And
Hmm.
I get really sad when people sort of, it feels like they flip on a dime. And I feel like you felt I did. And I feel like, I'm still that same person. Like, I'm like, what? Who's changed? Max hasn't changed. You know what I mean? Like, and I just don't understand how that happens. Um, and it's funny because I know you feel I did that. And it's weird because, like, um, it just makes me sad because I still think of you the way I did yesterday or early this morning. And
Hmm.
um, I'm sorry, I don't know what's different about my language. You did point out all these things that are need to be looked at. And yeah, I do see it that way. It's just not that way on paper yet. And I guess maybe the language of us hasn't adapted that language yet. We will. Because that's definitely where we want to be moving. But you caught us at today at 12, and we're not where we need to be yet. And I guess that's great why you're maybe coming aboard. But like, all that stuff that you're talking about and are bringing and want us to be, this is the first meeting.
Yeah, we need help.
Does that make
Hmm.
sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. Um,
Right?
like I love both of you, right? I love both of you. Uh, the language has to change around how I contribute to the organization, how I
Sure.
contribute to the organization.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm
Just
all about that.
for where I am in life and what I've gone through and everything as far as employment and so forth, and what I'm trying to do with my own LLCs and whatnot. I I just kind of like the language and the presentation today was just
Absolutely.
needed a lot of work.
I'm
Needed a lot of
sorry.
work.
We don't bring a lot of people on board, Felix. You know what I
Yes, but
mean? Like, this is like a first for Philip and a first for me sort of presenting it, even. I
mhm,
don't think we've done it with anybody else, maybe one other person, maybe, but like we
mhm,
don't bring a lot of people on board. That's why when you said to me, remember the paperwork? Like we just
mhm,
finally got a way of doing that.
mhm,
And as of like 2 weeks ago.
mhm,
All right. So like in terms of onboarding and all that, you're like, why has it changed? I'm like, because we finally got a real way of doing it. We're only now paying taxes for the first time and learning how to do
mhm,
that. Like we're learning and we're
mhm,
learning and we didn't have your language yet, but we're happy to roll it right in. You know what I mean?
mhm,
Be a part of us. But you have to be patient with us. We're not saying it's gonna happen 10 years from now, but more than this first meeting,
mhm.
right? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does make sense.
Right, Philip? Or no? Tell me. Did I lose everybody?
No, I'm here.
No,
I'm
Okay.
here.
I'm I'm
I think
I'm
Phil, mhm.
I'm here. I'm just kind of.
Processing.
I agree. This did not go well. And, this did not go well at all. And this is not. It is not like me. It's not like me at all. So I mean, this kind of set me back a little personally. But at the same time, I am glad this happened because you know, now we know there's a there's a lot of important things that we have to
Yeah.
work on and
Yeah.
improve. We're all friends here, and we carried on like we didn't even like know each other. That's awful.
It felt like I was
We
walking
we
into Baltic Street all over
yeah,
again.
and I've worked with Baltic Street myself, and I mean that ex dealing with the people there was terrible. It what drove me away.
Hmm.
It's their impersonal nature. That was, everything was completely,
Ex
transactional.
exploitative. Yeah.
And that, yeah, that too, exploitative, transactional. And, if we're trying to be better than that, then that's two of the things that we cannot, become exploitative, and transactional. We're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to move
Yeah.
forward. People are just going to dismiss us, you know, completely. If we ourselves fall in the same traps that we escape from our bellies, escape from ourselves. So I just I'm reinforcing that, you know, for myself too. I just want to hear myself say it because sometimes when you hear yourself say certain things, it kind of seeps, gets in better.
Hmm. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. At this juncture, uh, um, cons please forward over the agreement again with revised language.
Mhm.
Um.
You want to revise the language, Felix? You're welcome to. We keep saying that. We're happy to do that sort of thing, but I think it sounds like you should do it, right? Just the words, so we don't make another mistake that way and upset
Yes,
everyone.
but I also want you to kind of work together collaboratively to also kind of meet me halfway at that.
We're
You
happy
know,
to say what we think of it.
yeah.
Our input our own
Uh,
stuff too. Like,
I've been leaning into more cooperative economics and other like cooperatives and such
document.
and collectives. And so that's why like I push back on the language because again, like if I'm an employee, then I'm no longer like all other
Want to make a collaborative document? What's your solution?
uh I guess yeah, if that works.
I'm asking. Right?
Yeah, yeah. Um yeah, that would work. That would work. That would
Boy,
work.
I gotta go. I gotta
Ah!
talk to a coworker,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and it's getting close to
Hmm.
Okay.
uh,
All right. And I have a session coming up, but
Okay.
I'm
so
glad
what
that we
so what do
did
we
this.
need to do?
Yeah.
So what do we need to do now? Just to
Before I agree to anything, with the discussion that was said today, provide a different type of agreement. Work collectively to create either an employee one in a independent contractor version, and then I'm leaning more towards independent contractor. But I have to figure out what is in best interest of like
Yeah.
right now because I'm still trying to get food stamps, right?
It's fine.
So I just like I'm in a very pivotal moment where like I don't have food in the house, right?
You have to
So
tell us what's good for you.
one quick thing before I jump off, Felix,
mhm,
if you can just send us the ideas that you have,
mhm,
language that you want to um, see in this new agreement. I think that would be better than us trying to figure it out. Uh,
mhm,
since you want to bring something to the table, I think it would be, in my opinion, be beneficial for you to, um, craft the language and then we can just put it in there.
mhm.
Is that okay?
Yeah, sure, sure.
I'm so
That
sorry.
was that that was
I,
yes, that was yes, Philip.
oh, great. I'm sorry. I really gotta go.
Okay,
Too.
Uh, and I have my session with John later today.
Have fun.
Okay. All right.
All
See you
right.
guys.
Thank you.
all
Take care.
right. See ya, Philip.
Thank you.
I've got to run too, actually,
Okay.
as well. Max. Yeah. So,
I'll see you
uh,
then. Talk.
yeah.
All right. Very good, Felix. It was good. It was good seeing you today, despite the challenges. I think we had some good insights came in here.
Okay. Um, all right. Yes, yes. Thank you, Max.
Felix, be well. I'll talk to you soon.
Likewise. Bye.